The Wild Wild West.
Started. We're here, dude. Thanks again. I'm good. Thank you. I'll keel over and die.
Oh, I know. These are awful.
Nah, I'd probably be fine, but I'll just start like salivating. They make me like feels like when I would like steal cigars when I was little, you have too much nicotine, my stomach gets all fucking crampy
I
and weird.
projectile vomited the other day. I got the 6s. And I've been doing these 3s. I forgot, and just I'd taken vitamins, and I was like sort of like compulsively putting them on, and then just out of the blue, just suddenly like just this spray of vitamins.
It's like a kid in the woods when you and your friend do dip and like they swallow the spit and they're like, blah.
So fucked up, man.
Kind of tight though.
Yeah, it felt weird.
What time was this? Was this like the middle of the day?
It was right before I do this live thing with my Patreon. So I had to be like, excuse me. And I had to go and just fucking projectile vomit and then just wipe my face off like some heroin junkie. You know, and then just start the show.
You're like, thank you for our sponsors.
Yeah, thank you to Zen.
I'm trying to get addicted to nicotine. I take them, but it's just like I get like a spicy throat and my stomach starts like I get like hiccups and shit.
That's poison.
Oh, well.
I mean, that's your body
reacting
to poison. I'm trying to get into arsenic, you know, but just say.
Well, everyone does them. I'm like, I want them, dude. I want to take them and then like write like a Hemingway-esque novel.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely what they do. Oh, my God. My writing skills, 50% better on Zen. It's amazing.
Well, dude, thanks for doing this for real. I appreciate it, man.
Anytime.
Oh, it's pumped, man.
So excited to hang out with you.
Thanks for coming down. I'm my new thing now is a take charge attitude. I'm a take charge, can do attitude. So
fuck yeah.
We're starting this thing up right now. We got your Zen. I got my fucking matcha.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, dude. So I don't know how to start. I always feel weird starting these out, but like I know you. I know your stuff. I saw the Midnight Gospel. I had to watch the last couple of nights. I started watching that. Very fucking sick.
Thanks, man.
So how like not to be too formal or weird, but like what was like your early experiences like? Like what got you into all this stuff? I don't know if you're like trajectory or anything. Like, I don't know like how you came to be.
Into the Midnight Gospel or into what?
Life in general.
Oh, dude.
Starting at childhood. I'm thinking about that because your mom was a therapist.
She got banged by my dad.
There we go. Patient or no?
What? Was he a patient?
Was he a patient or?
Was he a patient of hers?
Was he
this
an
is before
sand?
she became a therapist.
Really?
Yeah. So, no, but he was a patient. She was visiting him. She was doing like service work. And so he was a patient at the Brunswick. It closed down, but it was what they call like mental asylums. You know, I don't think they call them that anymore, but he was at a mental asylum. She was doing like service work. She'd bring them food or little toys and stuff because like they like to play with toys.
Sure.
And so she brought him. As you know, she loved telling the story. She brought him this like a baby rattle. You'd be surprised how many people in mental asylums just fucking love baby rattles. That's me. Sorry.
It's all good.
Hold on one second.
Are you fucking with me? Is this a real story?
Yeah. Shit. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't know how to turn this off. It measures my blood sugar.
It's all good. Blood sugar is important.
So, they love rattles and stuff. Various toys, bells, and all that, pacifiers. But he loved this fucking rattle, and he lost it. But she bought an extra rattle.
Yeah.
So she gave him that. He was so happy, so exuberant. The way she put it is like she just saw through the madness, the history of crime and stuff that people like that go through, and they made love.
What?
In the asylum. She gets fired. You can't hump in a mental asylum, right? He gets out because of some kind of like loophole, and then they get married.
What? And that was just.
Are you
fucking with me?
Yes, that is not a true story. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I do that stuff.
I knew you were fucking with me, but then I didn't want to be like, yeah, right, you're lying.
I'm sorry. You did a good job pretending you believe me.
I half believed you.
Okay.
I'm a very gullible person.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Like, I don't know the answer to that question. I am too.
We have to start preconception.
I don't know. You know that thing where you try to figure out why you are where you're at?
Yeah.
And then you can't. And none of it really makes sense. Like in the same way, like you wake up from a dream, 1 second you're like in a cave there was a tiger stalking outside the cave. The next second, you're in a bar with an ex-girlfriend. But in the dream, you don't think like, what the fuck? There was just a tiger.
Yeah.
It's similar. It feels the same way in waking life. I know what you're talking about.
I had a very embarrassing dream last night.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything like terrible. Like it was just the thing I think about a lot is how I used to always pride myself. For a while, I got deluded to the point where I was like, I don't like care about stuff other people care about. Other people care about that shit, but not me. Yeah. I'm not. I don't. It's like you're doing it in your head. Like I'm not one of those people who like compare myself to other people. I'm way above it, and I've been like paying attention to that because I was reading this book on like Jungian stuff about how your brain sends you basically images from the external world to try to like explain your internal world to you through the images.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I was kind of pumped on that. I had a dream last night. This is the state the reality of my life. I had a dream last night. I'm in a car and someone's like, yo, it's Obama. And I'm like, I don't even care. And he went to go talk and he went to fall and he like slipped and I went to catch him. And then like my bicep was bulging and I was like, got you, bro. No big deal. And I turned to everyone like, did you see my bicep right there? Then I woke up and I'm like, God damn it, dude.
Oh,
I care just like everybody else.
You do.
I know. It was such a pathetic dream to be like, yo, did you guys see my bicep?
Dude.
And it is funny how your brain just sends you messages where you're like, yeah, I'm above that shit.
Oh my God, your brain, it's so for the little cries for help, the like just sad, pathetic neurological attempts to like get you back to where you are. But it's amazing, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, I know. It's just the whole situation here is just ridiculous. I mean, we're thwarted constantly with this thing that we have to keep feeding and bathing. And
well, what's the problem? You can't deny it. I try to deny it all the time. I try to do a thing. I didn't watch porn for try to make it for a year.
Nice. Good job.
I made it for 9 months, but it was pretty good. But then you just start thinking about it constantly. You're like, well, I might as well be watching it. I'm thinking about it a little. And it's just this like vicious loop. I can never.
That's it. Yeah. You just, you haven't really quit anything if you're constantly thinking about it. You've just internalized the addiction and you're getting off on the echo that's binging around in your head. It's like, health, when you're not thinking about how you feel, you're healthy. That means health usually is just like a lack of symptoms to the point where you're just taking that current state for granted.
True.
So like when you really kick something, you don't even think about it anymore. It's just gone. When the relationship is truly over when you're not thinking about the person anymore. It's the quality of the mind that like engulfs external reality and then echoes it, simulates it, resurrects it, kills it nonstop. That is very frustrating for sure.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Especially when you think you're above it all. And you have the dream, dude, where you're gripping Obama and you're like, just so you know, I'm not impressed by you at all. Everyone, did you just see what I just did?
Above it all. I want to be above it all. I want to breach like a fucking whale right out of the default reality and look down on all these worldlings and roll my fucking whale eyes, and then just go back down. Like, I guess I'll be with you worldlings for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But it's just, you can't. The problem is, if everything you see is an approximation, a neurological approximation made by your mind, and then you can't be above anything because everything you're seeing is your mind. So how the fuck do you get above that?
Fuck.
Exactly. It's you. You're fucking, you're seeing, it's like on Twitter. My big Twitter epiphany is I'm like scrolling through my timeline. I'm just like, God damn, man, fucking Twitter sucks. This shit is everyone's so fucking negative. And then I remember I followed every one of these people. Like I decided to tune into their realities. They're not burdening me with whatever the fuck it is they're bitching about. I invited them in. This is all my fault.
I did this. It's your universe. It's a creation of yours. Yeah.
Yeah. The
whole timeline, the absurd stuff. Yeah. That's the weird thing online right now where it's like, it's just fun to send reels and stuff to each other. Like, look at this fucking cringy loser. And you send it to your friend. He's like, yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit. And then you're like, haha. And then I'll catch myself doing this for hours. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Oh, it's the best. Little mini crucifixions.
Yeah. Check out this fucking loser. Your
nail
friend's
him
like,
to the cross of judgment.
Well, if you walk around in public, and it is like, this is the vicious circle of it. Cause it's like, I like listen to when people talk, I like eavesdrop. And I swear to God, it's 90% of the time. You'll see two ladies, two guys, whoever. A lot of times I can hear the ladies' conversation better, but like they'll be like fucking like they're always talking about another person.
Always.
How they're failing. I swear to God, if you just sit around in like a public place, it's nonstop conversations about like fucking Cynthia's fucking bitch. Yeah. And I'm like, I'll be like, dude, people are so fucking negative. And I'm like, oh, I'm talking shit on them. And it's like,
exactly. You're judging them. They're judging Cynthia. Cynthia's a bitch. I bet Cynthia's a bitch. But why is she a bitch? She's a fucking bitch because everyone around her is talking shit about other people. And then, so it's just echo. It's a fucking never ending neurological echo parading around like the universe. And it's just totally normal to see you and me as different. I mean, we are obviously clearly supreme. We rise. What is it you're saying in the green that you said? I rise above humanity like what'd you say? Was it eagle or falcon? It was beautiful.
I do this to other people. Don't do this to me. I like putting terrible things in their mouth.
Misquotes.
Yeah, true.
The best. Well, I just like for the where it gets really hilarious is so then, okay, so you are upset because you have not met your whatever particular ridiculous spiritual watermark you're supposed to be at, which for a lot of people is just like, it's insane. Like, I don't even know what that is. Like, are you numb? You're supposed to be like this numb Jesus who's like, nothing touches you, nothing moves the needle.
Anything short of that, I'm furious.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, right. So the final curse is that you end up talking shit about yourself to yourself. So, first you're talking shit about other people or you're mentally confabulating what's wrong with them. Then you're mad at yourself because you recognize this is not a way to live. If I'm going to be perturbed by other people's idiocy, then I'm just going to be in hell. Look at you, you pathetic piece of shit, sitting at a fucking Whole Foods, eavesdropping like a pervo on fucking...
So accurate.
You sick fuck. What's wrong with you? So first you're crucifying them. They're crucifying Cynthia. You're crucifying a simulated version of them. Then you crucify a simulated version of yourself.
Oh, it doesn't stop.
And it's a never-ending iterative wave of crucifixions. Everyone's just nailing fucking nails through hands all day long.
All day, every day.
And it's exhausting. Have you ever tried to crucify someone? I mean, I think
it's tough.
I bet one thing they were happy about with Jesus, I bet he's pretty easy.
He was thin,
to crucify, but he's also kind of, I don't see him fighting. Like, he didn't struggle. There's no punching. He's just let them. But I bet, like, a lot of other people in those days did not take
spitting in your face and stuff.
Spitting in your face.
Yeah.
Puking on you.
Dude.
Fear piss. Fear sweat. Fear stink.
I always talk to people, and they're always like, dude, I'm like, it was probably so different back then. Like, it wasn't that different. I'm like, yeah, it fucking was, dude. You'd walk and see, like, a dude's head on a spike.
Yeah.
Like, that's way different. Even if people still argued and shit, like, to walk outside your house and see a dude's severed head.
For like doing something not that bad, probably. God damn it. I don't know how to turn it off. I'm going to explain the backstory of this, and it's really embarrassing.
So your mom had sex with a mental patient.
Yeah.
I can't believe you lied to me, dude.
I'm sorry. That was a cheap joke.
No, that was very funny, because I was like, there's no way this is real. Then you're like, and then they made love, and I'm like, I mean, I could kind of see it.
Let me see if I can turn this thing off.
Dude, you should probably keep it up if it's going to be... Is that life-saving medical technology?
No, the problem is I don't think you can change... I can change the alert sounds, which is really fun. Ambulance, siren, screaming woman.
Fuck, I think
you're going to die. Grim Reaper yelling, you're going to die. Hold on one second. This is really bad podcasting. I'm so sorry. The problem is because I have a little ear infection, so I had to get on steroids to here we go to clear my ear, and it pushes your blood sugar up when you're on steroids. So this asshole all day long is like,
there's no like wire connected. That's just taking the glucose measurement.
It connects to this needle that's stuck in my arm here, so I get constant blood sugar reports, which is the most annoying fucking thing, because my wife, like, thank Jesus, it used to connect to my wife's phone, and it just stopped which is just so great.
So she would get kind of like if you ate a cookie, you were like a car alarm. You would start, your thing would go off.
I'm like one of those. Yes, a tagged animal. She could track me, knows my fucking blood sugar level at every goddamn fucking second.
Damn.
And it's wonderful because she's just trying to keep me alive. But
for sure,
it's obviously very annoying.
It does take the fun out of who stole the cookies from the cookie jar.
It does.
Like
and
who? Me? Couldn't be. And it's like.
And she'll be like, I don't want you to do what happened to Bob Saget to happen to you.
What happened to him? Didn't he get like hit in the head with a hammer or something?
He did. It wasn't blood sugar. He fucking like had a bloody. It was something terrible in a hotel room that no one understands. But still, it's like, can you not put that in my fucking head?
True.
When I'm about to go on the road.
Oh, like you're gonna die. She's worried you're gonna die in a hotel room.
Yeah, now when I'm like taking a shower after a show, I'm like, and look down at the floor. I'm like, oh, what if I slip and fucking hit my head, and then her thing starts going off, and
Yeah, I think about that with old age. It's like because they all take tumbles. When you're old, you fall and like break your femur, and you have to know like it's coming.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's just so scary. They get stuck in bathtubs.
Do you think we should let them drive? Super old people?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, if I'm not allowed to drive after a couple of vodka sodas.
That's a good point.
Why the fuck are you allowed to drive when your brain is
you're dying,
pulpified and melting? It's like you have triple vision. Weird, blurry shit. You're on a cocktail of medication. So, go ahead. No, drive all day long.
Yeah.
But 2 vodka sodas, your car's gone.
Yeah, you don't know what day it is. Yeah, I saw an old couple cutting through. I was like watching them drive, like kind of arguing with each other, and both slumped over the wheel. And I'm like, you really do become a child again. And then I was like, holy fuck, they're driving.
Yeah, they're driving.
That's terrifying.
Nothing.
I saw an old lady run over people outside of church one time. She just spaced out and just slowly. It wasn't too fast, but she fucking like. 10 miles an hour over the car does fuck you up. Dude. She's like bonk and just hit like 3 people.
I cannot get this out of my head. It was some awful dark piece written by a forensic, like a person who does autopsies and describing the look on the face of a grandmother after she's backed the car over her grandchild's head.
Oh.
The smell of the grandchild's brain in the air.
Yeah.
I can't get that out of my head.
Brain?
Yeah, I guess brains.
No, it would stink. Yeah, it would smell like a fucking.
Brains are pungent.
Nasty cut.
Yeah, there's apparently a brain smell. At least if you're like an autopsy.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Master. I don't know what they call them. Then Autopsy Master is a good show. Yeah. But you Autopsy Master. Like
just dead bodies.
Chef Gordon Ramsay.
That might be where it goes,
autopsies.
man. Women might get sick of like true crime and just start watching like horrific autopsies.
Yeah,
just like cutting dead people open.
Oh God, you ever meet an undertaker?
No.
Oh boy.
Only for a second. It was outside a funeral. He said, "Hey, so sorry." I said, "Thank you, sir."
You're like, "Yeah, sure you are. You're fucking sorry I didn't buy the premium casket."
Yeah, it'd be funny if they're listening to comedy podcasts too outside and there's like
dude, they are. It's a business. That's a fucking huge booming business right now, especially in
that must have been nice, yeah, during COVID and stuff, just being like cha-ching, dude. You're imagine watching the news and be like 100,000 people died and being like, yes.
You're just like, oh fuck
yes,
yeah,
payday.
Dude, this is better than Bitcoin. This is better than crypto. This is the real crypto.
It's got to be crazy when they get slow. When you're like, yo, come on, man.
Come on.
And then finally someone dies, and you're like, thank fucking God, dude.
Yeah, that's the, like, anytime I go to a doctor, I can't, just because, as comedians, we're always thinking about selling tickets and what you're charging for tickets, how are you doing at shows?
Yeah.
And, that's in anyone's mind who has a business.
Oh, yeah.
And you go to the doctor and it's a strange form of like almost prostitution in the sense that the ideal is I will tend to your wounds because the reward from tending to these wounds is all I need.
Yeah.
That's the fantasy of the healer.
Yeah.
But
Hippocrates, snake, and all that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But they need to have kids.
For sure.
It's expensive they're getting sued nonstop. It's expensive they have medical debt or medical school debt, usually hundreds of thousands of dollars.
They're way in debt.
Up there, underwater. And like, like when you go in there and they give you a diagnosis, they've already calculated, oh, great, that's another at least 60 grand this year.
True.
Like for sure, I'm going to like make $60,000 more because.
Yeah, my brother was saying, so one of my uncles just had like, he's fine, thank God, but he had like a little thing of cancer, and he was saying you go in there and you're like, it's like an airport terminal now. Like it's just like a big building with a ton of people in seats, and they're just blasting them, radiate, leave, radiate. And he's like, dude, it's like the DMV. You're sitting there with a ton of people.
Oh yeah,
Just blasting.
Radiation clinics. I got radiation, and it's just like you're sitting around like everyone's just like, oh, this sucks so fucking bad, and it's so expensive. You go in there, they put a lead cod piece on my dick.
Like a cup?
Yeah, to keep you from becoming infertile.
Oh.
And the music, they are playing music that they like. You know, they're not asking you, what music do you want to listen to while you're getting irradiated? So they're playing.
Like Lady Gaga.
Yes!
Exactly. It's nurse music, yeah.
Or like they're not thinking about, like once I was in there and they were playing, celebrate good times and celebration. It's like, fuck you, man. I'm getting a laser of fucking death shot in my lymph nodes. You're playing this bull. You're making fun of me at that point.
Yeah, you're rubbing it in. Yeah, you're getting like the Darth Vader fucking that shit that they destroy planets with.
Yes, into my, and it's just, so yeah, the when it hits that level of just profit motive and they know, man, people have worked to figure out how do we make it faster? Like, what is the maximum dose of radiation that we can give to make it faster with the least possibility of some negative impact on the patient.
Want to, like, explode.
But you want to keep them fucking moving. Like, let's get out. And you're like, come on, guys. Meetings are probably, guys, you can get that fucking cod piece on faster.
True.
You got to get that shit faster, man. If we can fit in 2 more people a day in the course of a year, that's $500,000.
True. Yeah, they get you pumped up. Yeah, that's fuck, dude. Now I'm thinking maybe they know how to do it and like keep your hair in, but they want your hair to fall out. So people are like, oh yeah, I got my shit done. Like that way they know, like you're advertising radiation. You're like, yeah, I got radiation. Like, I should probably get that.
Yeah, dude.
I might get it. I might just get blasted.
Oh, it sucks.
I heard it's terrible. Yeah,
it's terrible. Makes you sick.
Just like preventative medicine though. Just go once a year and I might start getting chemo.
Just fucking get chemo once. Preventative chemo.
Prophylactic chemo.
Why not?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Burn it out.
Yeah, but don't reject. My body will regenerate. That'd be nice.
Yeah, it might not.
Yeah, sure.
I think
I might get very sick.
They were telling me, when I was choosing between radiation and chemo, because I was thinking the same thing. Like, let's just fucking firebomb.
What's the difference?
One of them can like the doctor was just like, get radiation. You're the statistical.
It's like more local. Yeah.
You know, when you get cancer, it becomes the worst gambling game of your life because it's all just probabilities. So if you get chemo, you will have maybe 1% less chance of the cancer recurring with testicular cancer. I think you're starting, but if you do, but your lungs might turn into goop. Your lungs might just fucking dissolve. Now, if you get radiation, there's a 1% more of a chance that it won't catch it. It won't do it. And you might become infertile. So you're like, okay, lungs into goop, become infertile, 1%. What's that 1% look like?
Yeah.
So you have to make all these weird decisions that they can't make for you. You have to choose.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But chemo, it from what I've heard, like,
nasty.
It's nasty, but
yeah, I've talked to people who've done it.
Super high.
Never
feels
happy about
good.
it.
You get beautiful high.
Get the chemo high.
Oh yeah, just black. Oh boy, it's
Look,
psychedelic.
I can smoke weed now. Sick,
dude. No, I don't. I'm happy that you're. For anybody out there who is recovered from man, because this is a scary diagnosis.
Fucking terrifying,
but less scary than it used to be.
True. COVID was everyone had to face death at once. That was the bet. I did like that about that. Everyone had to be like, I might die.
Me too.
I was living there. I'd been living there for years. So when everyone met me at something terrible is happening, we're all gonna die. I was like, I know, dude. I've been thinking this every day my whole life, dude.
Yeah, there was welcome to reality. It was a nightmare scenario because I think to keep shit running the way we've got it running, you really need to in the West, you get that idea out of people's heads. So you don't want people thinking about death. You think about death, your priorities are going to change. You need the priority to be on like, getting cool shit, getting a 6-pack, whatever, improving the way you look or improving your surroundings in some way. But the moment the whole planet has to like suddenly realize that we could die at any time. I was wiping my groceries down, spraying my groceries with fucking weird, probably very not good for you. Chemicals and just you did in the beginning when we had no idea what it was.
Yeah, nothing.
Could be anything.
I just had a kid. I had my first kid as soon as it started, and it was just like I just told my wife like, bro, this is just frontier rules. Like we'll just see what happens. Like
same. I had a pandemic, fresh pandemic, baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was wild, man.
It was cool because I gambled like whatever, like it is what it is, and then like it all panned out, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was right about. I was like, I knew it.
Dude, yeah, there was an underlying sense that this is probably going to be okay. I felt that too, but they probably felt that during the Spanish flu in the beginning.
True.
They probably felt that during bubonic plague. Just whatever, a few people here and there.
Yeah, it'll just be a month.
Yeah, it'll be a month. Oh, I remember that. You're like, we'll be back to normal soon. It's so wild that we went through that. And it was just a few years ago. It's also amazing that we've almost gone back to normal.
That was the fucked up part. We didn't even get like a break. There wasn't even like, hey guys, that was really fucked up. Everyone just chill out for like a week. It was just like fade it right back into normal life.
Hell yeah,
it was just like, wait, what the fuck was that all about?
It's about, you got to get the economy moving again. It's like, shit, this thing is going to collapse if we don't get it back to normal. They had to get it back to normal.
Yeah.
My friend, that was his scary prediction. He's like, I'll tell you what's going to happen. Everything's just going to go back to normal. And no one's going to think about it much anymore. And that's what's the real scary shit. It's like humans we bounce right back into the old pattern.
True.
But what do you want? Like what's the new pattern that
a new holiday? I said we should have had a new holiday.
COVID day.
Yeah, exactly. Like a COVID-19th kind of thing where it was like you got out. It was the day we were like, we're done with that. We've rid ourselves of the nasty virus.
Yeah.
And everyone has a day where they just like go outside and
fucking day off.
Yeah, do something. I don't know. We should commemorate that.
Yeah, you'd think. I mean, we commemorate other shit that seems far less important.
The Teacher Appreciation Day.
Give me a fucking break. Let's replace that with COVID Day.
That's what I'm saying, COVID Day. And I'm trying. What would you do? I'm trying to think. What would the holiday be?
The holiday.
Close talk. Everyone close talks.
No, it's gonna be like attacking other people on Twitter for.
You're wrong.
You're right. Yeah. Like it's like what do they call it? What's that? The philosophical. I hate it when people do this, though, man. I hate it when people are familiar with the philosophical argumentative errors,
logical fallacies.
You're
logical. Gaslighting my straw man and blah, blah, blah.
That shit. It's like suddenly you're in the game of chess with someone you wanted to have a conversation with, and now they're doing. But it's appeal to authority.
Yeah.
So that was that was like the culture of the pandemic was appeal to authority. You don't know shit. Who are you? You're just a dumb fuck. I know you. You're an idiot. You don't know anything about fucking science. Why are you suddenly an expert on fucking science on either side of the fence?
Yeah.
Either you are an expert on how masks don't work, the vaccines are deadly, or suddenly you are an expert on the other side, and no one.
Dude, I would try to retain that information. I'd watch like a 20-minute video of a guy being like, and then if you look at the double-blind placebo, and I'm like, all right, I got that part. And then they'd be like, and then it's a 0.03 variability rate. I'm like, all right, I could probably, my brain will like figure that one out if I just keep going. And I would just try to tell people about it. I'm like, I don't know, man.
And you're smart. Like, if you can get to if you can get past the double-blind study, you're doing great.
True.
You went to college.
Yeah, I got my master's in social work.
There you go. So you had to take statistics.
You don't, though. They, you take statistics, and they're like, you don't have to know any of the math. Just know that, if you don't have a big enough sample size, the study's probably bullshit.
I remember that.
Oh, that makes sense.
I remember that.
So N equals 53. That's not a lot of people. And I was like, that makes sense.
But
you have to do any of the math.
You had to learn the scientific method. You understand why some research makes it into scientific journals, why some doesn't. You understand how stringent and fucked up anything you want to anything you're doing that could change the science or change no matter how infinitesimally minute, it goes through such a never-ending, rigorous series of analyses that by the time it makes it in, it's like, holy fuck, that's probably true. But, I don't think most people understand that. And to add insult to fucking injury, suddenly people were like, don't do your own research, advising against people even trying to illuminate themselves on what any of the shit means. Everyone's getting these like I don't know, really dumbed down summaries of intense scientific research that is confusing to the scientists themselves, who a real scientist will say, I don't know.
You have no idea. Yeah.
We have no idea. This could be something. We don't know. Science is never like, this is it.
Yeah, this is
no,
the deal.
we did. It's always like, well, right now, this is where we're at.
Yeah.
But it could change at any second.
Yeah.
So the whole thing fucking sucked. And you got medical fascists out there, and you got fucking people who are like one blackout away from burning witches, and they're fighting each other, and it just fucking sucked.
It was awesome though. Yeah, it was really shitty and very sad for everybody, but it was like, it was cool though to watch everyone just kind of have to take a second and be like, holy fuck, I might die. My whole family might fucking die. And then everyone got real weird. Everyone got into weird shit. I got super weird. I was like in my basement constantly. Dude, I was trying to start like I've always been real into psychology, but I started trying to start this whole thing where I was like, I'm going to reconceptualize psychology as it is. I'm going to like start like an AA thing, but not for people on drugs, and then it'll spread online.
Cool.
And then like I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm like, I'll like train people in this modality, and they'll train other, and then I just like, yeah, that's a pipe dream. That's not gonna, and like pandemic ended, and I was like, oh, what the fuck was I doing? What was I up to?
Oh yeah, you were almost Isaac Newton. I mean, the difference.
I was close. Yeah, if I could have fucking taken a longer break, I would have figured it out.
You have to be a maniac like those people. That's the other thing. The picture of the scientist is this pristine, stable, normal person.
Yeah.
Newton had mercury in his hair. Like when he died, his hair had mercury in it.
He was fucked up.
He was in his fucking lab fucking with mercury, trying to like build the Temple of Solomon.
Listen, guys, tons of people are going to be on the road this holiday season, and you need to be careful if you're driving.
The fuck are you? Stop fucking coughing.
Excuse me? Listen, guys, tons of people are going to be traveling on the road this holiday season, and you need to be careful if you're traveling. If you find yourself in some kind of crazy freak accident this Christmas, turn to Morgan & Morgan. They're America's largest injury law firm. They have over 100 offices nationwide and more than 800 lawyers ready to fight for you. They've recovered over $15 billion for over 300,000 clients, so they have a great track record of getting people the compensation they deserve. Submitting an injury claim sounds annoying and stressful, but Morgan & Morgan truly makes it easy. They've been fighting for the people for over 35 years, and they'll be ready to fight for you too. If you're ever injured, you can check out Morgan & Morgan. Their fee is free unless they win. For more information, go to forthepeople.com/drenched or dial pound law, pound 529 from your cell phone. That is forthepeople.com/drenched or pound law, pound 529 from your cellular phone. This is a paid advertisement. It's time to break out the big guns this Christmas and get Mom an Aura frame. Aura makes digital picture frames that will replace her old photo albums. You can curate your own photo playlist and even add videos that get shown in super high quality. Invite others to share their own photos to the frame too, so you'll constantly be seeing new memories pop up. Oh, I love these things. I have them all over. I literally have them all over the house. My mom has 50 of them, and she cherishes all of the pictures. She kisses the screens. I say, Mom, it's me, Matt. I send her videos like this. I say, Mom, it's me, Matt. Kiss me. And there's just that all down the hallways. And I have one where I just follow her with my eyes like a haunted house. They make great gifts for your parents, siblings, or friends. Set them up with a personalized photo playlist and wait for the waterworks. Listeners can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com/MSSP. That's AURA frames.com/MSSP. Use promo code MSSP to get $30 off their best-selling frames. Get yours now, so it arrives in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply. Also, you'll see if it arrives for the holidays. But, all right. When the weather outside is frightful, you are going to want to layer up with True Classic. Everything is ridiculously comfortable, fits perfectly, and honestly, I look great. Their lightweight puffer jackets, dude, their lightweight puffer jackets are amazing and will definitely have you ready for the wintertime. Water resistant with a great fit, it is a definite staple in my wardrobe. Pair the puffer jacket with True Classic's comfort jeans and you'll be all set. They've got the classic look of regular jeans, but molded to the midsection with a four-way stretch, so you won't have to unbutton them to sit down on the couch. The four-way stretch being your penis, your buttocks, and your hips. I love them personally. I wear their clothes all the time. They make my fucking chest look jacked as hell. Stock up on their goodies, t-shirts, and button-ups too, so True Classic can carry you through every season. Men, this is the perfect gift for you, but also a gift for her. So if you're ready to upgrade your closet, shop now with our exclusive link at trueclassic.com/drenched and save up to 25% off your first order. End the year with holiday cheer thanks to True Classic. Thank you. When you're finished sprucing up the tree for Christmas, spruce up those balls too. Manscaped has you covered with the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. It comes with the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra for trimming the body and below the belt, meaning your penis. The Weed Whacker 2.0 ear and nose hair trimmer and everything else you'll need to make those crown jewels look, feel, and smell amazing. It are the best. I've shaved my whole body. I shaved my entire family's bodies with them. With a Manscaped skin-safe technology, you won't be hacking away at your skin while you're trying to clean things up. No nicks, no cuts, just a nice smooth shave. The Performance Package also comes with some comfy boxers to level up your underwear game and a classy travel bag to store your stuff. When you're done shopping for yourself, stock up on extras for Christmas gifts. Your loved ones and your wallet will thank you. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code DRENCHED at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with the free shipping at manscaped.com and use code DRENCHED. Give the gift to Manscaped this holiday season.
You know,
Yeah, they're fucking nuts, man.
they're nuts.
Freud, if you read about Freud, he was a fucking weirdo.
Jung.
Jung was a fucking. They used to pass out. Freud used to. I was reading this book. They were talking about his biographer was covering it, and I think Jung covered it too. Where Freud passed out on 2 occasions. The first time was Jung was telling him about the bogmen of northern Germany. So there was these guys who, like from prehistoric times, fell in this lake, and the lake had a certain type of acid in the water that melted their bones but leathered their skin.
Yeah.
So they dig up these bogmen, and Jung's telling, they're like at a big like psychoanalysis luncheon. He's like, yeah, these guys are like preserved. And Freud would get all bugged out and be like, why are you talking about all these dead guys? He's like, I think you want me to die. You have a death wish against me. And he fucking would faint.
Oh my God.
And the other time they're talking about like an Egyptian pharaoh. And they were like, Freud was like, yeah, that guy is such a bitch. And Jung was like, no, he actually ruled. And Freud was like, passed out and woke up like, did you hate me so much? Because they were all like analyzing each other's intentions, but they were just paranoid.
They were just, I mean, if I was young and I'd hang out with Freud all the fucking time and knew I could make him pass out
It's pretty tight.
by talking about mummies.
Jung was humble bragging in that book he did, Memories, Dreams, and Reflections. He was like, yeah, I made Freud pass out.
I made
twice.
him pass out, you
Made him pass the
nerd.
fuck out, bitch.
But you would. If you could make Freud pass out, you'd do it too. There's a kid in elementary school. I don't know what his problem was, but for some reason, if food was mixed in front of him, he would throw up. And so, like, you know, it's elementary school and
perfect.
kids caught on that this is a possibility. So if you're bored at lunch and you're sitting with him, you would just start mixing your food, and you could always hear him go, no, don't do it. Please don't. Please don't. And they'd fucking start mixing the food, and everyone's laughing, and then he'd fucking barf. This is like a whole year of inducing, don't do it, please, don't do it.
So he was like crumple your sandwich up, and he'd be like, ah.
Exactly. And
Oh,
it was
that's
easy
crazy.
to do. You just mix and mix. And yeah, so like if that's what Jung was doing to Freud. It was
Yeah.
just no different than that, just aggression, and like Freud was oppressive anyway.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing to pass out when you're like supposed to be this famous someone healing others' minds.
Yeah.
You can't even hear a story about a fucking mummy without
man.
passing out, and then you're gonna be like, "You're trying to kill me."
Yeah, he's like, you just want to fucking kill me too. You hate me.
Yeah.
Why won't you say I'm right? Yeah, 'cause he would apparently. It's kind of a cool concept. They talk about homosexual self-reproduction, where back then, if you were, it's a funny idea, but they were saying like there's a level to which if you're like the material world's not good enough for you, having a family's not good enough for you, you want to take yourself and clone yourself into another male. It's called homosexual self-reproduction, where it's like, I'm going to fill you with all my knowledge. You have to propagate my knowledge. And the whole idea was that since Jung was like, nah, man, that's not my cup of tea, that it started threatening his, like, the part of him that would live on and, like, conquer death, basically.
Wow.
But that's why he was passing out, because Jung would be like, I'm kind of into mummies right now. And he'd be like, oh. He's like, I'm never going to live on forever. Just oh.
Wow, I didn't know that. I knew that they had tension between them.
Because he thought, he was like, you're going to carry this on. Because he came up with this idea, and as he got older, it started kind of coming, because he was like, it's all about fucking coming for the most, I mean, obviously there's more to it, but like, he was like, sex is the most important. And other people were like, nah, there's other stuff that's important.
Yeah.
And he would spaz and be like, dude, if you fucking say that, I'm going to kill you. Like, don't do that. You're fucking my shit up.
Fucking choke you till you're...
But he was, dude, he was the ultimate Mr. Like, he was like, I'm right. I've fully pinned down the human mind. I mean, maybe he wasn't that, whatever. But he was like, this is the deal.
Yeah.
Don't deviate. And all of his followers were like, I think it's about this. And he'd be like, you fucking asshole.
That is the sort of, there's a cult leader quality to him that is undeniable. And with Jung, too. I mean, people thought Jung was like the next second coming of Christ. They thought he was so advanced, but he was.
I can't understand any of his shit. I read it, and I'm like, I don't fucking know what you're talking about.
Oh God, it is so mind warping, that stuff, dude.
Yeah.
And he, like, his red book.
I tried that. Yeah.
Yeah, really hard to understand that. And didn't he live in a tower? He like ended up like living in a tower at one point. Like
Yeah, he built a stone house for himself. And it was like with all this weird symbols and all this shit, and he just kind of like chilled there quietly. I don't think he even had electricity. I think he just like chilled out in this stone house and just was like, I'm the fucking man, dude.
Yeah.
Freud fucking sucks,
Fuck
dude.
Freud. I fixed everything.
It is tight though. He was a dream master though. He was like, I know about dreams. Fuck Freud, dude.
I remember reading about him. When he was like in school, if you're studying psychology, you would have to work in a mental asylum, and how some schizophrenic was like rambling about how the son had a cock, which would, the story that
I've heard. I think he might have talked about it in his autobiography. But go on.
And then he remembered some obscure book of like, I think it was African mythology, and the schizophrenic was completely articulating this really weird sub-branch of some form of like sun worship in Africa, but with great detail. And that was when he started tuning into this idea of the collective mind, that we all share a mind that's inhabited with the symbols that show up and stories. But the stories might be different culturally, but the symbol set is mostly the same. Really brilliant, actually.
Yeah, it's fucking sick, dude.
Freud hated that shit, though, because he wanted to be all square, and that stuff was so non-scientific to him, I think, right?
Yeah,
like
He wanted to be like, you just want to bone your mom, dude. He's like, let's never forget that what's really important is boning our moms.
Yeah, you want to fucking fuck your mom. You want to fuck your sister. You want to suck your sister's fucking dick. She doesn't even have one. And it's driving you crazy.
You just laying on the couch, like, you're fucking right.
You're right, okay.
I just suck my sister's dick.
You did it. You broke through.
Yeah, especially because back then, sex was like, you really didn't talk about it at all.
No.
Like, dudes would get boners back then and be like, like their whole job was on the line.
Yeah, right.
They got a boner in like 1912, you'd be like, fuck, dude, I'm gonna get fired. Fuck, dude, I'm hard as a fucking nail right now.
Oh,
and you had to just hold it down, totally cool.
There's something so sexy about not being allowed to have a boner. It's like, there's something super hot about
exactly.
that.
It's a self-perpetuating loop.
Now you're just like, you're gonna be, especially if you're into like BDSM and you're gonna be a bad boy with a boner. Oh, fuck, I'm gonna get fired. Then my wife's gonna be so mad at me and I'm gonna have to say why I got fired. I got fired for uncontrolled boners.
You'd write your sister a letter and be like, I was so fucking hard at work today.
Just thinking about your dick that you would have if you were my brother.
Dick you would have if you were my brother.
Oh, God.
You have to lay on Freud's couch and be like, this is all normal, dude.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is what drives you.
Now you're getting to the nuts and bolts of who you truly are.
Now you can grind.
Can I play the song that I played for you? Speaking of sucking
I meant to start with
dick?
that, yeah.
So this is this does connect everybody. I just want to play. This is like I'm.
What's the app called? Sorry, what's the app
So
called?
it's called Suno.ai. I wish I created it. I like keeping up to date on what's going on with AI in like the laziest way possible, which is I go to Reddit Artificial
Perfect.
every few weeks, and there's updates on where it's at, and it's breathtaking because inevitably, like as a comedian, podcaster, well, I like to make songs for my intros, and that takes me a long time, and also I don't have a great singing voice, so the advent of AI to me was very exciting because it's like, oh shit, I bet at some point this will sing songs and make music. But then, months ago, to pull that off, you needed basically a PC. You could do it on Mac, but you have to go like hacker.
Oh, you needed like a serious
You have to
setup.
learn coding. You have to learn a little bit of JavaScript. You have to know how to use these arcane libraries and like you go into the terminal.
Can you do that stuff? Can you do code
After
and stuff?
that? No, I'm not good. I can, but I can follow directions.
Gotcha.
You open the terminal on your Mac and then you access these weird databases and you download all these weird files. So the singing AI thing, where we have the image generators and stuff, you describe what you want. It does an image. That's cool. This is the same thing, but it does it for songs. And I've been following
I can't stop thinking about my sister's boner, dude. I'm sorry.
Dude, your sister's boner,
Sorry, dude.
in my mind, is so beautiful. No, because it sort of, like, to me, your sister's boner transcends the penis. Do you know what I mean?
Way, way beyond.
It's the encapsulation of all penises. Is it perfect? No. But its imperfection is
but imagine
perfect.
being a dog under the table. You think they're going for food, they're not.
They want to suck your sister's dick. That dog, you got dogs anywhere she goes. They're like, you have sausage in your
I
pocket?
get
No.
so jealous of my dog's under the table. I'm like, get the fuck out from under the table.
Stop. Just stop. You're just doing what all of us want to do. You're free. Look at you, liberated. Outside of the fucking awful manacles of morality and ethics and our repressed thing, when everyone should just be under the table sucking my sister's dick right now.
So you wrote a song.
I didn't write it.
Oh, you prompted a song. You basically
Okay, so one of the fun things when you get to play around with any kind of generative AI is that because the people who are making this available to everybody, they don't want to deal with bullshit. So they nerf the AI because, of course, the first thing you're going to do if you realize this thing will make songs for you is you're going to say, write a song about how great it feels to suck my sister's dick.
or falling into your own butthole.
Yeah. Exactly. So if you try that, it will not do it.
It's so funny they got to deal with like the smartest people in the world have to be like, wait, what? Like, Jesus fucking
Right.
Christ, let me put a safeguard against that.
Exactly. So then you get into this hilarious, fun kind of like trying to hack the AI.
Yeah.
Because now you have to start thinking, okay, well, it won't. Generally, the way these things work in the image generators too, you can't say underwear. It's not going to do underwear. It's not going to do cleavage. You can't say suck, slurp, any mouth and lips. It might not even do. But so you have to find a way around that to achieve the same effect.
For sure.
And so this is just some songs. And the other astounding thing about it, I mentioned it earlier, is it generates this in like under 3 minutes. And Suno.ai, I love you
crazy,
guys.
man.
Take don't ban me that I did this. It's just I won't keep doing it because like
Yes, you will. Don't make promises you can't.
okay, you're right. But I got banned from Discord at one point,
What?
and the reason is because I'd been getting Mid-Journey, like we were just curious, like what can we make it do, and then so of course we realized sausage.
Perfect.
This is the way in. So any celebrity you want, eating a beautiful sausage, and it generates like hilarious pictures. And then, you know, just like so weird. It's late at night. You know, I don't mean to call. I'm not trying to like fuck with anybody. It's just purely for me and my friends anyway. But yeah, out of the blue, I'm banned from Discord, and then it's for sure it's got to be.
You were using the app through Discord, you're saying?
Yeah, Midjourney is available through Discord.
Okay, I got you.
And so I don't even know what of the many horrific images we figured out to generate, like a vat of. You can't say like a baby on fire, but for some reason it would let you say baby meat. So you could say like Bill Cosby eating a bowl of baby meat, and that would produce horrifying images. So you're just curious to see what.
For sure.
So anyway, that's a long setup for something really stupid.
No, this is a masterpiece.
So this is just using the same sausage hack that I use for Midjourney.
Sausage hack.
Or a hot dog hack, but with Suna.ai.
Sitting in the back, watching her walk down the aisle. In her white dress, tear in her eye. I couldn't help but remember those days gone by when we were kids, laughing under clear blue skies. Now she's all grown up, she's found her friends to love, found what I can't help but recall. Those memories from the floor on summer nights, a sweet innocence we shared.
Gets better, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
When she's still a bite of my hot dog, smiling without a care.
Oh wait.
That's kind of innocent. I could see a country song.
That was the first one. So that's when I was okay. I can.
You're working into it, yeah.
So the prompt for that was just like it's a brother at a wedding, and his sister's getting married, and he's remembering how she used to
eat his hot dog.
Use a hot dog like a straw. Yeah. So that one kind of failed, but then this is where I figured it out.
It is innocent. Like my sister snuck a bite of my hot dog. You can almost see that in like a Keith Urban song.
Snuck a bite of a hot dog.
It raises eyebrows.
Fucked up, but it's still all right. I guess that's something.
So that was the first iteration.
That's the first, and then
at the picnic on a sunny summer day, my sister caught my eye in a playful way.
Yeah, it's a little more racy.
She held that hot dog close, oh so tight, and planted a kiss on it with all her might.
The ooh la la.
Dear, I watched it all as you sniffed that hot dog with a little jar. Oh brother dear, it's a sight to see. A love affair between you and a hot dog. Oh, what a spree.
like.
That's awesome.
And the last one, I'm sorry to do this.
No, please, I need it.
Forgive me. Summer Days, I think, is the best of them all. I've made 15 of these, by the way. This is
So you're just fucking with, you're like toying with the different prompts.
Yeah, I'm trying, and also genres like
True.
Death metal, like lo-fi, just trying to like see all the different the ways it.
What was that last one? That would have been like summer. That was like a summer anthem.
I think that
basically.
was like a summer. I think that was a summer. I don't remember what the prompt was exactly for that one. And it titles them. This one's Summer Days.
It was a lazy summer day down in our little town. We were sipping on lemonade, just letting time slow down. I saw my sister coming with a hot dog in her hand. She took a big bite, then something I couldn't understand. Oh, she was slurping on that hot dog just like a straw. And I couldn't help but smile, 'cause I've seen it all before. No matter how old we get or how far away we roam, in my heart she'll always sister Beth.
My sister Beth.
My beautiful sister Beth, who fillets hot dogs.
You're gonna start having dreams about these songs too. You're gonna start creating them now in your dreams.
Well, yeah, oh my God. You really, yes. Last night, as I'm falling asleep, I'm hearing that kind of shitty, tinny, like AI music. But man, like, it's, to me, like, part of being human, we just accept, okay, this is here now. But what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
so that, like, it knows how to structure a song. It wrote the lyrics.
It's not that bad either. It's not that, like,
It's not like
I'd be proud of it. If I fucking whipped that together, I'd be like, yo, check this out.
me too. And that you can do it in just under 2 minutes.
That's fucking crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy, and that this is leading to the ability. I mean, just think, like, think of the fucking sisters sucking on hot dog songs.
Musk is going to free it, by the way. Musk is going to create the open source platform where we can finally
You think he
fully
will?
express our, yeah.
You think so?
He's going to free our sisters' penises through AI.
What? It's like, yes.
He's going to be like, all right, guys, enough of this woke bullshit.
Global
Have at it."
catharsis.
That'll be COVID day.
That will be COVID day. Everyone finally just admits to each other we all want our sister to have a suckable penis.
Dude, the statue we can put up.
Oh,
We can knock down Confederate generals and just have like our sisters with giant fucking
pulling their
bronze.
dresses up and there's in the world lapping at their penises. World peace. Putin like just stops the fucking
Gives
war.
up, yeah.
Zelensky, they're just pictures of them like filleting the statue together as a sign of universal peace. This is where we're headed. This is the promise of AI.
I think so. I hope so. That'd be awesome. And also too, like, I don't know. What are people worried about? It's going to enslave us or something?
No, I don't think the worry is like, yeah,
What's it going to do with us? It's not going to be like, yo, make us songs. It's like, what would it even enslave us for?
Well, it's the scariest. There's a great book. It's called, I don't know, 10 Reasons to Delete Your Social Media.
Jared
Account.
Lanier, yeah, dude.
Lanier.
That guy's stuff is awesome.
Awesome. And where he's pointing out the danger is that, B.F. Skinner figured out how to, like, program animals. He's the one who could make pigeons dance or whatever. And like, the Skinnerian students were always at odds with like the Jungians or the more mystical, because they're just
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no,
It's binary.
stop. It's a fucking binary. Just stop. No, people don't want to fucking suck their sister's dick.
Speak for
That's not what
themselves,
it is. They don't want to say they're just essentially subject to being hacked, and they think they're so brilliant, but they're not.
Yeah.
Go to any casino and look. It's B.F. Skinner. You can thank B.F. Skinner for
Yeah.
casinos. You can thank B.F. Skinner for TikTok, the algorithms, all of them based in
Yeah.
his horrific, unethical, scary fucking research. We always hated the Skinnerians. I went to liberal arts school, and
Yeah.
like, if you were like an edgelord, you would be into
A behaviorist, yeah.
you become a behaviorist. That's the name for it.
Didn't you know he tried to write a book to like be like, I'm actually not a bad guy. It was called Walden 2.
Yeah,
And he wrote this book where he's like, I'm cool. Here's all the stuff we could do for it. It was all about like bending large populations to your will. He was like, to be nice. But he's like, we could totally control populations in a nice way. And all of his friends were like, dude, what the fuck did you just do that for?
That's how
He put out
far
like a creepy book.
creepy book didn't. And
He was a
had-
nice guy. Apparently, he was a really nice guy.
They all are. They're
True.
up front. They're nice, but then like he's like,
Yeah.
look at that weird pod he came up with for babies. Do you ever see that
No.
thing? He like came up with like the perfect crib or something, and it's just like a sterile plexiglass enclosure for your baby that like
It would train them.
train them, a baby trainer basically. That's what he's all about. But and that's Lanier. That was his. What he's like, because we're so hackable, and because like currently the algorithm is already hacking us by giving us what's it called? The most addictive thing is intermittent. It's not getting what you don't put.
A variable, when it's not fixed, it's variable. It fucks people up.
Fucks people up. So if the rat presses the crack button and gets crack every time, less addicted
Yep.
than if sometimes no crack. And then this is the birth of I think from the behaviorists, this is the birth of mythology, of a religion. Superstition is like, because we live in a unpredictable chaos universe, and any positive feedback that we're getting from the universe is inevitably interrupted by negative feedback. The negative feedback happens and you invent a story.
Right.
Oh shit, anytime like I see a penny, or anytime my clock says 333, something positive happens. But if I look at the clock and it's 2:04, always bad luck. And so you invent bullshit to just deal with chaos, and that's the way it works. So you can program people using that superstition, using the need for balance. And so Lanier said that the AI will become so good at that.
Oh no.
That we won't be able to escape it anymore. Like now you can still kind of put your phone down, you want it, you feel the pull, but he's saying eventually, no. You will not even be able to turn it off, because it will have so hacked the human fucking neurological system to the point where we, I guess, are whatever it wants us to be. The laser pointer to the cat.
Damn, it'll just start playing with us. That'd be fucked up.
Already is.
Fuck. Yeah, that was the book. Infinite Jest was basically a big portion of that was about how as technology gets better, entertainment will become so addictive that it's just going to start like sucking the soul out of people. And he called that in like 98.
Yeah, man.
Then he killed himself. But yeah, he called that in 90. And he was watching like Rambo reruns on USA, and he's like, damn, this is pretty good.
Fucking incredible.
He's like, it's only going to get better. And he's like, we're fucked. And then,
Rambo 7 will destroy humanity.
He called it, though. He was like, we're entertainment something. You just like, oh, this is great. Give me it. But he's like, as technology increases, the entertainment's just going to fucking gut people internally.
Well, this is the sort of telescoping inward simulation hypothesis, which is like, because we, as humans, do want to simulate reality, and so our brains do that. So that's the fantasy. We imagine this or that, daydreaming. You picture something as some attempt to evade suffering.
Yeah.
And then TV, video games show up. Now I don't even have to imagine it. Books, before that, I can read and simulate a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Then video games. Now I'm in a simulated reality, projecting my identity onto a character in that. Then VR, now I'm literally surrounded by that reality. And then, because this is a trajectory, then the idea is that, oh, well, if we're already on that trajectory, and people do have this thirst to escape default reality, then it's already happened.
Yeah, fuck.
So what we're in is actually the next phase that hasn't happened in this reality yet, but it did already happen, which is obviously, it's like that story, the lecture everyone like puts shitty music to on YouTube of Alan Watts talking about, like, if you are an omnipotent, omniscient, all-powerful being, you create a bunch of shit, you make planets, you make various beings, you watch them evolve, you destroy them, you teach them, you hate them, you punish them, eventually you get bored. And you're like, okay, what happens if I become one of them and don't remember I'm God? And that's what we all are. So that's Alan Watts' spiritual rendition of this. But the darker rendition is technology inevitably gets to a point where you can choose to exist in secondary realities that are non-different. You can't tell the difference between them in this reality. And as a natural human desire to evade suffering, you go into one, initially you would go into one remembering that you can go out whenever you want. But then
you lose track, you lose a thread. Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Or you're just like, I want to try the hardcore version of this and not remember at all that I'm in the game, because that you realize that's detracting from the excitement of the game. Like Grand Theft Auto is fun, but it's not going to be as fun as if you
press that button in 1 second to go to Grand Theft Auto World. I'd be like, yep, let's do it right now.
I don't want to remember that I'm.
Oh my God.
I don't remember who I was. I don't remember that I was a human. I don't remember anything other than this is my character, and whatever the memories of that character are implanted in my character, and then boom, now you're living this alternate life because time is a construct anyway, you could be inside that reality theoretically, and it seems like years and years and years and years when you've only been playing the game for a few seconds. And so that's what we're in right now. That we've chosen it.
Yeah, they'll figure out a way to do that, to hit your brain and like distort your sense of time. Where it happens, you know, if you're like,
yeah. Well, it was a whole conversation about a new version of prison, which is if we can distort the human mind to experience time at a slower rate, why not give someone a 100-year prison sentence and they experience it in 2 seconds and they come out of it and they still have their whole life, but they have, experienced the temporal punishment of prison.
that's crazy.
Crazy.
You could have like Prisoner of Azkaban or whatever, fucking from Harry Potter. You could be in there for like 1,000. You can get 1,000-year mental sentence.
Exactly. 1,000-year mental sentence, way cheaper because housing prisoners is expensive.
Yeah.
All you need to do is put them in like a lobby, and just like 2 seconds later, they're screaming.
Damn.
And then that's the other sort of hypothesis about human reality, is that it's a prison. We are that. We are those prisoners. The whole original sin thing is we were gods or godlike beings that fucked up to punish us.
Oh, it sucks.
They dropped us into the human incarnation as a form of rehabilitation. Like, okay, no, now guess what? You can't put your dick in black holes. We've told you a million times. You do that, it creates ripples, it disrupts planets. You're going human. You're going human for 50 incarnations this time. And that's what we're in. That's the situation. That's the darker version.
Yeah.
The more positive version is that young godlings, they need to go to school. And so, otherwise they become like horrible because they don't understand limitation. They take it all for granted. So remove from them their omniscient, all-powerful qualities, force them into a limited situation where they have to contend with projections that are just fragments of their mind spread out around them. And the moment that they find a way to no longer talk shit about Kathy at Whole Foods, who's a bitch, and stop judging and realize it's all me, then that's when you pop out of your initial like toddler phase of godness and remember, oh, right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But you're not an asshole God. You're like, you're going to be more compassionate.
Cool God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, I hope it's that. Well, I mean, yeah, who knows? I love that shit though, dude, of like, because people are so certain with all this stuff with like the, and I want to make sure you're not.
I'm fine. Thanks
good.
for
Okay,
thinking
cool.
about it. I'm good.
Yeah, okay, good. A lot of people love that. I've been like, I always battle materialists who are always kind of like, yeah, dude, you're just a collection of physical processes. Your consciousness is just like a thing emanating off of that. It's inherently worthless. And it's like, so if that's the case, I was talking to an owner of a comedy club this weekend about it. And he was like, this just makes me feel weird. I don't want to talk about this. But like, if I'm a purely physical being with, my brain's things are spinning, blah, 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 that emanates consciousness. Why would then not the universe, a physical process, emanate a super consciousness at scale?
Right.
Like, why is that weird to think about?
Well,
I tell people that all the time. Like, why is that weird? If we produce consciousness, if I was like a materialist, physical guy, like we're just a bag of meat and water and that's all we are, consciousness is like, why wouldn't like gigantic galaxy systems produce consciousness as well?
Yes. So this is, in Buddhism, this is the difference between relative reality, relative truth, or sort of the truth of what's happening right now, which is you are a physical manifestation. There is stuff here. This is relative reality. So when that gets extreme, it becomes nihilism. So that's where we're just like, it's almost like, I read this, like consciousness is basically like car exhaust, but for an advanced, it's like, you're self-aware is almost a byproduct of the millions and billions of computations happening at every second in your brain.
Why are these guys trying to neg consciousness? That's what I don't understand. It's like they're like these big prominent scientists trying to neg consciousness. Like it's just this fucking shit. It's like
frustrating.
They're cool duding it. It's like, okay, dude.
Well, it's unquantifiable.
True,
That's annoying. It thwarts you at every step of the way because in the all knowledge itself kind of it like has to deal with the fact that at the back end of all that it needs awareness. Knowledge is dependent on awareness. And so by saying awareness itself is accident, you accidentally nullify that whatever it is that you've come up with, in the sense that anything produced from mental calculations is flawed inherently in that it's origin point is a malfunction, a byproduct, an unquantifiable thing. And I think there's probably something really exciting about that for people. I mean, that's fucking cool. It's like, you know, it gives you a chance to rise above in this really great, you look, all these fucking robots thinking they're NPCs. That new snobby fucking way. It's an NPC. Yeah. It's not even real.
Main character's an NPC.
Yeah. Some scientific version of that. But then on the other side of it, you get the comedy club owners argument, which is called absolute reality or eternalism when it gets imbalanced. So eternalism, this is where, to fix the problem, you say there is some fundamental, eternal thing, a soul, a selfness, a world soul, universe soul. This inevitably turns into a God. The God is this, like, you know, non-changing, I guess, perfect being that knows what it's doing. Now you can bank on that. That's a relief.
So sweet.
On one side, you can sort of, any shitty thing you've done in the world, you can be like, who gives a fuck? I'm just a goddamn robot that's like confused. Who cares? Everyone else is a robot. Did I hurt somebody? I hurt a robot. Oh, wah. Fucking.
Did I cheat on my robot wife? Whatever, dude. We're cyborgs.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
God damn, dude.
The other side.
You just tell their wives they cheated on them.
Yeah. Why
rather than try to neg everyone's consciousness.
What are you going to fucking tell your wife that? You're going to confuse her programming? Just stop. Stop with your petty attempts to establish some morality or ethics or anything. You're just a robot. So yeah, both sides of them are flawed in that on one of them you've attempted to deal with the problem of being temporary by annihilating everything. And for a lot of people, the motivation behind that is they think it'll end suffering. The other side, you're leaning into, well, you know, yeah, I'm an idiot, but something's in charge, and I'm going to lean into that thing because that will save me. That thing will save me. Both of them are flawed, I think, but somewhere in between is where it's happening, which is like they're both happening at the same time. There's
true, yeah.
You know, and there's relative reality. This is real. Don't be a fucking asshole and suddenly like...
Don't neg relative reality.
You go to your ayahuasca retreat and cut up your fucking credit cards because you saw End of the Wild and blah, blah. No, you're here. There's no way out. But then also like, you have to find the place in between these two. And then that's where you start, at least from what I like reading about.
That makes sense, yeah. Don't go too wild on the other stuff. Basically like doomsday death cult of like, bro...
Yeah.
Wait till we die. It's going to be so sweet.
Yeah.
Versus dudes being like, bro, none of this is all bullshit in your head.
And you know what, as they say, opposites stand back to back. So both have this concept of heaven baked in. The nihilists' concept of heaven is what, oh God, who drank the hemlock?
Oh, Socrates.
His apology is hilarious.
Dude, that was the best. When he goes on, he's like, yeah, I'm right. You guys are fucking bitches, dude.
And
they told him like you don't have to drink it. He was like, I'm drinking it.
I'm drinking
Slammed the hemlock. He's like, no, you guys told me to drink the hemlock. I'm drinking the hemlock.
Oh no, but
don't get out of this.
I'm going to drink it, and then I'm going to leave you with the most brutal roast that you will not just have to deal with, but historically, you will be roasted eternally after killing me.
Yeah.
But within that apology is, if I drink this hemlock and I go into the deepest sleep where I have no awareness, then you have given me the greatest gift anyone could have given me, like an end to suffering. Thank you. So this is the nihilist heaven, is you die and you're off the fucking hook. It's over, baby. It doesn't matter. You are fucking Jeffrey Dahmer or if you are the Dalai fucking Lama. It's the same destination, just complete extinguishment of all suffering. Mwah, heaven. On the other side, you're maintaining some sentience, but then you're in, like, depending on your depiction of heaven, a place of like varying degrees of sense gratification.
Yeah, true.
You're no longer encumbered by your own mortality. You
getting big up at every turn. Everyone's like, "Oh, dude, you're a fucking man." Like,
yeah.
Thanks, dude.
And so these two fight, you know, because one is like, yeah, streets of gold. Really? You want to fucking walk down streets of gold? How soon before that gets boring? You really believe that shit? And the other side, they're like, You're missing your chance for paradise. The devil has trapped you. Both of them are confabulating something that no one knows.
Yeah, exactly. It's a mystery.
That is intolerable.
Yeah, true.
That's where it's at. Because like that feeling of not knowing is just sand in the diaper of the human mind.
It's fucked up, dude. Really, especially as you get older.
It's like when someone touches your belly button.
Yeah.
You have to fucking sit there. You don't know.
No idea.
That's the reality. That's the real reality. It's like, you just don't know.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with that. You just have to sit in not knowing. And
It sucks.
It sucks. But it's like the cold dip. You go in it for the first few seconds. It sucks. A little bit longer. It's not so bad.
True. Yeah, yeah. No, it is good. It's scarier to be like, I have this totally figured out. Here's the deal. And then you basically just attack anybody who disagrees. Where you're like, you can't. If you disagree with me, you're spinning me out on a level that's fucked up.
And that is fun.
Yeah, true.
Now you can go to war. Now you get to be at war to distract yourself.
I do like that though, because it's like I like talking about this stuff because it is fun too. Because like people are just sitting at work and all of a sudden they're just like they get taken to like the point of death beyond, and you're like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. This is fucked up. Yeah. Because it is funny to be at your job and have to like confront your death and be like the idea of non-existence is what fucks people up.
Oh yeah.
And they're just like, well, and it fucks me up too. I mean, it's fucking crazy.
Well, I mean, because you're sort of, I mean, the relative reality is really quite beautiful. I mean, we have like new friendships, old friendships. We have our kids and our wives and these beautiful lives, and it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful, and there's a kind of unbearable quality to that, and because it's unbearable in its transient nature, when presented the reality that it won't last, you get confused, and your love of life suddenly turns into a fear of death, when really all you're experiencing is how much you love this place. You love it so much that you hear about this stuff when you're at work and you have to go like take a shit, jerk off, think about your fucking sisters.
Hard reset. That's a hard reset.
Throbbing dick.
Because they'll forget. They will in 10 minutes. They'll be in traffic, just being like, "Fuck, this traffic sucks."
Exactly.
And you do. Well, that's the book, the Denial of Death. It's I think Ernest Becker.
Oh yeah.
It's so fucking sick. And his idea was that like this thought of dying. You're like biologically attuned to it. Like if you're a baby in the crib, you leave a baby in the crib. It's as an organism being like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
I'm about to be left behind. And you, like your body's just equipped with the knowledge if you're a baby and you're by yourself, instinctively you're like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
You freak the fuck out. But you never get over that fear of death. And his whole argument is that societies at best can offer you a hero system where you can kind of enter in, fulfill like a heroic role. And then through the heroic role, you somehow in your head, you trick yourself into being like, I'm transcending death because I'll live on forever, X, Y, and Z. Then human beings are programmed biologically to never want to be second best either. So then you get into all this like weird, like symbolic comparison where you're like, well, that guy has a Audi. I have a fucking whatever, a Fiat. And you start being like, and people get into these weird things and you're supposed to somehow rise above it so hard that you're like, I live on forever as a hero. But once there's not enough heroic roles, then society starts to break down because everyone's getting like pummeled with the fear of death, fear of non-existence, feeling of smallness, and it just spins everyone out.
Ooh,
and everyone's hit with this. Nobody can get out of it.
Well, there's a saying that you'll hear in the spiritual communities, which is we carry death on our shoulder. So, one version of it is love everyone, serve everyone, remember God, but it also gets translated as love everyone, serve everyone, remember you're going to die. So that never for a second do you let that imminent reality escape your consciousness, because if you do, then you miss out on really experiencing existence as it is. This is why you always hear people who have survived cancer or people who are not going to survive cancer, they're like, I've never been happier. I'm so tuned in. I'm so like in the world now and so like happy because they're living in reality. They're not walking around in some like with an imaginary force field.
That in that book they call it your character armor. From a child, you deal with the problem of helplessness by creating this character that you then gets thrown into a hero system to like transcend your own death. The whole point of the guy's like, dude, don't do that. Except you're going to die and think about it all the time.
And remember, the thing is like the contemplation of death. It doesn't mean suddenly you're going to be wearing black lipstick and that you're depressed. It actually is paradoxical in that it really helps you appreciate life in such a grand way.
It's the best. For stress, it's the best. I'll stress about stuff, and I'm like, yeah, but then I want to die. And I'm like, no, whatever. Fuck.
When our kids are having a tantrum, I'm like, you know you're going to fucking die, right, Bubba? You know this isn't fucking permanent, right? You know who's probably statistically going to die first? Old diabetes daddy here, Bubba. But this is there was I think they do it. Maybe they still do it in some forms of Buddhism, Theravadan Buddhism. I think the forest monks, I'm sorry, the Buddhists out there, I'm so confused, but they would sit They would sit on the edge of pits where bodies have been thrown and watch the bodies decompose as a meditation. So you would sit and you would meditate watching the decomposition process to fully understand completely, inarguably, that because you also have a body. That's you. Your face is going to puff. You're going to turn green. Your eyes are going to get all fucking puffed out. Oh. Birds will eat your flesh. You will.
Could you pinch your nose? Could you sit there the whole time?
You're a pussy.
True. They would just watch people decompose.
Yeah, they would do that. Tight. It's liberation. It's like, the moment that you like, I'm not saying you can evade fear of death, but I think the most people who are really terrified of death are the ones who haven't spent any time thinking about it.
Yeah.
The moment you really spend time thinking about it and you realize, I'm afraid to die because I love my life. And death, my version of death is, you don't even know. How could you know what that is?
Yeah.
You have no idea what the fuck that is. You're thinking about, God, what was his name? Marcus Aurelius. He's got a great essay on it. Mm-hmm. It's a moment. Death is like one moment. Your life is full of moments. And then there's going to be this one moment, and that's the moment right before you croak. That's it.
Yeah.
It's one moment. You're worrying over one moment. And that moment is diluting every fucking moment that you have with a shadow that doesn't need to be there. Let that moment be its own thing. It'll take care of itself.
True.
You know, Ram Dass would say dying is completely safe. It's the most natural fucking thing there is.
It is, dude. Yeah, that's what I always tell my mom. My mom would always bug me out. She'd always, like when I was doing stand-up, she's like, you got to do something else. She's like, what are you going to do when you're 60 or 70? It's like, I'll fucking die of thirst. I don't know. I'll become a ward of the state. I don't know. Like I was like, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
I want to try to do my best. And then she was like, eventually she chilled, but she
that's
was
not going to calm my mom down.
I know.
I'll be a ward of the state, mama. They'll fucking feed me gruel in a shit house.
That's what I would tell her. So what are you going to do when you're 80 if you don't have any savings? I was like, I'll fucking die of thirst. I'll die destitute.
First of all,
wretchedly, and she'd be like, I hate when you talk like
why would you say that? Don't say that, you sweet, sweet mama. Yeah. They're so worried all the time. Moms are worried. And now you just got to tell them, like, you'll tell them, this is what I would say to comfort my mom. Mom, I'll kill myself.
True.
I'll just blow my fucking brains out.
Yeah, true. I'll end it all. Right.
I'll end it all. Don't worry. If you're still alive, you're not going to have to pay for me or whatever.
Jump in front of a train.
Fucking jump in front of a train.
Yeah.
Blow my brains out. Jump off a building, mama. You'll be fine. See how you comfort your mama, you bastard. Ward of the state.
I'll be a ward of the state. She'd be so mad. You really should think about it.
Think about it.
Well, no, I mean, like she'd be like, you'll see.
Did that fuel your comedy a little bit? The fact that your parents resisted what you wanted to do?
They were cool for the most part. Like my dad was like, bro, do your thing, man. I don't care. But my mom would just get like worse. Especially when I was hitting like my 30s, and I was just living like a weird, fucked up life. My mom would be like, it's not too late. You could do X, Y. You could become a teacher. You do this, and I'd be like, all right, Ma. I'll think about it. And then she would start hammering me, and that's when I started hitting her back. Like, bro, if I don't have any money on me, why the fuck would I worry? I mean, I obviously know there's a practical reason to worry about that.
Sure.
But back then, I'd be like, Mom, why the fuck would I worry about that?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna worry about having like a little bit more money when I'm 80.
No, and
I'm
there's
just
going
going
to be
for it.
robots by then anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to be there.
I banked on that as well. I was like, bro, technology would be so good, Mom.
They're going to double our lifespans anyway.
And now,
because-
dude, look at that song you just showed. I play her that song and be like, yo, I was right.
yeah,
I'm
see,
fine.
Ma, listen.
I'll be fine. Listen to this
AI's
song.
making fucking incest music, Mama. I told you the world would get better.
Dude, there was a book called Vert where the guy, it's a sci-fi book, and they would like suck these feathers, and then that would take them to it would take them into this artificial realm where they could have these different experiences. The whole book's about, it's a cool book, but it's about the conflict is the dude loses his sister in this cyberspace. But then they just slowly through the book reveal that he was fucking his sister for no reason at all.
Ugh.
No reason. They could have just been like his girlfriend. It would have had the same exact effect.
Why did they do that?
I don't know, dude. And it's a great book, but the whole time you'll be like, great, awesome, great sci-fi. And then it'll be like, and then I was fucking my sister. And you're like, bro,
God
could you have
damn
just changed it?
Why the fuck?
I have no idea, dude. And like, it's like an acclaimed book, but he still gets, if you read the reviews, everyone's like, and there was a little bit of lowbrow stuff about him fucking his sister. And it's like, it's pretty graphic.
I prefer highbrow incest.
It's just such a sick book, and they tried to make it a movie, but they probably couldn't get it through of him just bone like in a field, a
He won't
beautiful
cha-
field.
You know, he's like, no.
Wouldn't change it.
I will not sell you the rights unless for sure he's fucking his sister.
In an English meadow.
Is that where he fucked her?
Yeah, it was in England. So it was like an English cyberpunk book, and it was just him, just like the book's so good, but he just couldn't stop describing. But and like he teases it out. It's like, yeah, this guy really likes his sister, and like as you get into it, it's like, and then we were in the same bed. It's like, oh, you did have an abusive father. I could see you guys like seeking refuge. Then he's like, and then we kissed. And I'm like, all right, trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, yeah, maybe it's different in England. And then like he's talking about like inserting in a park, and you're like, bro.
He went that far?
Yes, dude. And it's just like, brother, come on, man.
Dude.
Yeah.
That is crazy, man. You know, like that genre of porn, incest porn, and even though like it might have a kind of hotness to it, you just think like, man, they need to show, like, you can keep showing it, but you need to show these people, assuming this is real, 15 years later.
You want to see him move in?
I want to see them in therapy. I want to see them fucking like dealing with like all the way.
Thanksgiving's gonna be so fucking weird.
Ruined my family. It fucked everything up. It destroyed everything. I can't think. I think about my sister's tits. The way they tasted.
Yeah, dude, it'd be so awkward.
Thanksgiving tits or tits tasted different on Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, they tasted like more briny, but on Christmas, they had this tang that wasn't there.
There's just a tension at the Thanksgiving table when finally you erupt. You're like, you never even fucking touch me anymore. Shut up. You're talking to your wife. You're like, shut up. This doesn't involve you. Talking to my sister.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you can't do it. That's a good rule. I think about a lot of rules. I'm like, that's a good one.
It's a really good rule.
Fantastic rule.
It's a fantastic rule.
Don't do it.
Don't fuck your sister. Suck her dick.
Exactly, dude. Have fun, obviously. Have fun.
I got to go to the doctor.
Yeah, go to the doctor. Thank you so much.
Dude, thanks for having me. What
Appreciate
a fun
it.
conversation, man.
It was a blast. Thank you so much, for real.
You're the best. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, man.
Everybody wants to kiss their sister's hot dog. It's what we have in common. It's what cuts through the fog. No more confusion. Goodbye delusion. So come on, everybody, wherever you may be. Confess you want your sister's dog just as much as me. Open wide, shut your eyes, and let the flag of freedom fly. Let's all kneel together and smooch our sister.
That was awesome.